Okay. Okay. Okay, and live. It's a little early, but live. I suppose people will show up and they decide to. Hey, Maria. Can you hear me okay? Hello, Margaret. How's it in London? Okay, that's good. So, Maria, this is Margaret. Margaret's in London. Margaret, this is my daughter, Maria. Say hi. Yes. This is very interesting. The thing with the camera is that it's backwards. This is my right side. So what I'm seeing, and I'm opposite from this picture. So what I'm seeing of my face must be what everybody else sees about my face, you know? It's very interesting. Margaret, I thought you were in London. I have you mixed up with someone else. Okay. Anyway, we've got 9 minutes. I've watched a couple of other live streams. I've never really been big into them, you know? Hi, Yvonne. Maybe it's Yvonne. Yvonne, are you in London? It's Yvonne that's in London. Hello. Wow, it's 11 p.m. in London for you New Yorkers and whatnot. Yvonne gave me a bunch of questions I'm going to be answering today. So if you have any other questions, type them in. And I'll put on my glasses and see if I can read them. You notice I keep coming close to the computer, right? It's the old fartism setting in. Another hat. Yet another hat. Actually, these hats are like the hat that I made for you. This is a brown one. This is like the 5th one. These 3 black hats all came from one skein. This hat took me 3 days. I don't particularly care for it, but it's a good hat. It's a good, solid, warm hat. And then I made this one that's kind of like a tam. You see the design in it? It took a hell of a long time too. So unfortunately, what I really wanted to do was to make hats with nice designs and things so that people who are homeless have the opportunity to have pretty stuff too, you know. But I wanted to keep the colors dull because that's what they've been saying, is that if you're making stuff for homeless, that you have to make stuff that doesn't make them stand out, because they get robbed, they get beat up, they get all that kind of crap. So anyway, I made a hat like this, exactly like this, for my daughter, Maria, who's here. And except hers has a big pom-pom on it. And it is such a great pattern that I made another one. And I will continue because I can make these hats, crochet them in about a day and a half, maybe 2 days. So that's it. So no, you're still here, Yvonne. Is the video okay? Because from what I understand, I don't have enough upload power, bits per second or whatever the heck it is, according to what YouTube says, and that it would cause a lot of buffering for the people who are watching me. Thank you, Margaret. So is it buffering for you? Is it going straight through? Okay. Hey, 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 hey. Somebody just drove by, probably moving their rig. Hey, hey, come here. Come here, come here. Pixelated. Okay, that's not bad. You should see how bad it is on my computer. I just got a new camcorder so that I could do this. Okay, thanks, Margaret. Okay, what time is it? Oh, we still got 5 minutes. So, you want to come up here? Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, okay. Just going to lay down on the floor on his bed. So, anyway. It's great for you. Okay, so what are you people doing? What are you sitting around doing other than sitting here waiting for this 5 minutes to go by? Hmm? Okay. Okay. On your mobile. So this moves pretty good. Yeah. Hmm. Oh my, there we go. I don't know why I'm typing, because I could just answer the question, right? Rowley, with the contact poi balls. I keep them in the drawer. I keep knocking my mouse so the video goes down. I keep them in the drawer so he can't get to them. The problem now is these are contact poi. The problem now is my weights. I went out and I got some 2-pound weights. I have 5 pounds. I had 3 pounds. I don't know, got lost in the move or something of the sort. So I ordered 2 2-pound weights. He decided they were his. So he kept pulling them out where I kept putting them further and deeper in the hole onto the floor. And I said, no, this is not going to work, because I can just imagine stepping on one of these things in the middle of the night. You know, it's just not going to work. Not fair. But I keep the poi balls in the drawer so he can't get to them. And now I have to keep the weights way in the back of the spot that I've got it in so that he can't pull it out. When he couldn't get to the 2-pound weights, he was trying to pull the 5-pound weights, but he couldn't really, well, he pulled it, but he was chewing on it, and it's got fuzzy kind of stuff because they're smart bells. So I had to take that away because he was ripping off the the fuzz. Other than that, he's doing good. He likes to play all day long. You know, as long as I throw a ball, he's really happy. There you go. Snug in bed with a hot water bottle. That sounds good. Except I got a dog. Okay, Margaret says she's getting ready for surgery. As soon as they say, I know, that is so hard to wait for. You know, it's like, as soon as you make the decision, no, in my case, as soon as I made this decision, okay, I'm ready, let's do this tomorrow. You know, they didn't go with that. So, good luck, Margaret, yes. Yeah. You're getting rid of heels. That hurt. When I crushed my ankle and I couldn't wear heels anymore. I used to really like pretty shoes. Yes, he's still the canine thief. Absolutely. In fact, he went over there to the neighbor next door this morning. She said, if you see the door open, you can let him out and he'll come over here and it's okay. And I don't have to worry about him being an intrusion in her household or anything like that, which is what I was really worried about, you know. So he ran over there this morning, couldn't find any toys and came home. He was just like, oh, okay, goodbye. It was terrible. Hiya, Jody. Great seeing you too. So yes, he's still a thief. I mean, look what he's doing in my place. He's like 2 pound weights. Those are his toys as far as he's concerned. Actually, anything I bring in the house is as far as he's concerned. And if I go shopping and come back without something for him, he gets really upset. He investigates every bag, you know, sticks his nose in it. Anyway, yes, waiting does feel like forever. So it's 3 o'clock, exactly. Okay, hi y'all. Oh, I gotta bring up my notes. I just realized. Last week, I talked about how you see yourself before and after surgery. This week, I'll be answering some questions and talking about some random stuff. Let me split the screen so I can see what the heck I'm looking at and what you're showing here. Where is the split screen? Here we go. Okay, I don't need that one. I need this one. I should have done this earlier. I mean, it's not like I didn't have time, right? And, okay. What is this doing? It's showing, my screen is showing me twice instead of just once on the screen. It's just really strange. Anyway, Ed, this week I'll be talking about some questions. I mean, Yvonne Heck asked me a bunch of questions. So the first question was, are you self-conscious? Every time I go to one of these screens, let me know if you're still seeing me or not, because I can't see you, the screen going to where my words are. Are you self-conscious because people react differently to you as a slimmer, healthier person? She says, I found that people smiled more at me, and those that didn't know me commented on how good I looked and how much better I was. Well, my answer to that is, I get those too, but I don't feel self-conscious. I watch the old guys trying to make some, you know, say their thing. And I noticed that the women are friendly. People are now beginning to say things to me like, I know someone you should meet. But I think that I smile more now, or people smile back. You might be doing the same thing and don't even realize you're smiling, you know, a lot. Anyway, so that's the answer to that question. I don't conscious. In fact, that's pretty good. Um, she said, Yvonne said, my self-esteem could dive because even though these people were suggesting that I looked like a trog or a troll, I thought that must have been what they saw in order for them to make a comment. Well, I don't think so. See, I go the other side. I look at it as an inspiration. Since I've gotten this operation, there's one other woman in the park has gotten this operation because she saw the results that happened with me. And so she comes over and she tells me how she's doing, and she's looking fabulous, she's dropping weight like water off a duck, you know what I mean? When they talk to you, look, aren't they smiling with their eyes all wide and big, you know, happy, stuff like that? You don't need to discount it. They're happy for you. They consider you a wonderful thing that you've done and something that's very hard to do. I really feel that they're cheering me on, really do. And when I see someone who has lost a lot of weight, there are some women here in the park who are using other methods other than surgery to lose weight and are doing terrific. I compliment them because it's amazing. I couldn't do it that way. If I could, I wouldn't have done what I did, which was get the surgery, you know. They're stronger than I am, you know, for sure. And I'm really thrilled with them. So maybe it's a matter of how you're looking at things. I think you've gotten so used to being the fat one, the one that everybody discounts, the one that's invisible and all that crap. And take your place. Take your place because why not? It's fun out there. Anyway, she said another question is that I used to stand back and let other people go through tight spaces, and I was embarrassed that I wouldn't fit and that I would be called names. Well, I was embarrassed I wouldn't fit, but I knew I wouldn't fit, you know. I didn't for once think that anyone would ever call me a name for being the size I was. I don't think people, well, anyhow, they wouldn't do it. I don't think my outside behavior has changed, except that I think I smile a lot more than I used to. And the fact is that I was just too fat to fit through that spot. And I knew it, they knew it, everybody knew it. You know, even when they set up the tables, they knew what size people could fit through there, you know. So you do what you got to do, you know. And also, I haven't been anywhere in the last year, as you all know, to be in that situation anyway. But when I think about it from when I was thin, when I used to run, I did the same thing I do now. I just go find a seat and sit. You know, I mean, if I was fat, then I'd look for seats that fit me better. You know, it's just the same old thing. It never occurred to me that somebody would call me a name. And I probably would go around and said something too if they did. You got a new comment here. Let me see. Okay. Oh, that's cool, Jody. I don't know. Why didn't you tell? Jody says, I didn't tell anyone I had the surgery. Friends and family are puzzled at your weight loss, right? COVID has helped by not seeing anyone. Okay, so you could just tell them you went on a diet or whatever, right? And the camera is backwards, so everything looks weird. So I don't know why. Why didn't you tell anybody? It seemed to me the best way for me to keep on the straight and narrow was to get up there and shout to the world. And that's why I'm on YouTube, because I don't know what kind of willpower I got, I mean, you know, if I got to face people, then it's best for me to face them and say it than hide out. Because if I'm hiding out, then I could just do what I want to. Nobody would know any one way or the other. So I don't know. So I'm a proponent for telling everybody, only to keep myself accountable. So anyway. Yes, Yvonne says it's great to have a live stream. I've never done this before. But I didn't want the outside. Oh, okay. Okay. She says she didn't want any outside comments, any judgments, etc. I could see that. And she cried all the way to the hospital. And for her, it was the right decision. Okay. I could see that. I know me. I had to tell everybody. I'm a Leo anyway, so I definitely had to tell everybody. Yeah. So, yeah. I could understand that. What inspired me to do the YouTube channel was the weight loss. I knew I had to tell people. I have very few close friends. Very few. I had to be out there. I had to make myself accountable to myself. I had to make a commitment to myself. I knew that if I had made a commitment to be out here in front of people every week, I had to stay on the straight and narrow. Otherwise, I had to explain myself. And if I just dropped off of YouTube, that's not cool either. So that's why I did it. And there's also the fact that I think I'm the oldest RNY recipient on YouTube. I haven't seen anybody older than me. And most of them who are near my age, or at least 10 years younger. I figured that people ought to know that you could be my age and still be successful with this operation, that you could still have this operation, and that it was available to them to help in their situation, in their fatness. Forgot to turn off notifications on my phone. Anyhow. Yes. Even though I'm 62 years old. Okay. It's a good age. What's I doing at 60? I'm still out. Oh, I was working at a reenactor. That was really cool. Good job. Yeah. I agree. It's never too late to do anything. I figure, okay, I'm 77 years old. Let's say I'm 75, right? People in my family live to be about 100. I have an uncle who was 110 when he died, and my middle daughter, who's into genealogy, just managed to get hold of his death certificate. So it was proved that he was 110. We thought that he was 112, but anyway, I expect, giving my gene pool, that I'm going to be around for a little while longer. And so the first 75 years of my life have been difficult. And the second half of the 75 years seems to be falling into place very nicely, very nicely. So, hey, I intend to party. And I need to be in physical condition to do that. So had to have the operation because the dieting wasn't working for me. And even with the operation, I think my set point was so low that, and it's still low, that the operation didn't really help the set point in my case. I have noticed, though, in the last couple of days, in the last week, that I have not been hungry. And if I eat anything, I mean, a couple of crackers, piece of bread, well, not even a piece of bread, a salad. I can't eat a whole salad for one. And it'll take me half the day, the whole day, to eat that half salad. And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking that I'm stuffed like a turkey, you know? So this is one of those other side effects, I guess. And it's okay with me. Maybe I'll drop some more weight. Who knows? Losing it in Lafayette, yes. Yes, I was watching her too, and losing it in Lafayette. And yeah, she just dropped out. I don't know what was happening with her. I think that if I were to leave, I would have to say goodbye, you know, if I got off of YouTube, because it would bother me mentally to have something unfinished like that sitting out in the world. I'm outside of Las Vegas, and I picked it out on a, well, no, that's not true. I decided at some point that I had to get out of that house. I bought an RV, a 35-foot RV, you know, the drivable ones. And I drove it cross country 3,300 miles from New Hampshire to this area. Now, I chose this area because of a couple of YouTube videos I saw. One of them was a review of this park, which is absolutely gorgeous. So we came down to this park for a month, because in order to establish residence in Nevada, you have to live in one place for 1 month and get a receipt for 1 month's rent. And then you could do it. So we stayed here for 1 month, never left, never went back out the door with the RV. It's just still here, you know. I picked it out on a map. I picked out the place because of the review of this particular park. I picked it out because I belonged to the Home on Wheels. Well, not really belong. Because it wasn't around at the time. It was the Home on Wheels Alliance from Cheap RV Living. Cheap RV Living has a whole course and anything you could possibly want to know about living on the road. So I learned a lot of stuff. I did a good year's worth of research and drove out here, and I love it. Except when it gets really cold and really hot. So, you know, you stay in the heat in the winter and you stay in the air conditioner in the summer, you know, go out at night, you know, or when the sun isn't shining. But it was because of some videos. So, imagine, who are you saying he? Yvonne said, imagine the changes he saw. I must have missed something. Okay. Anyway. Oh, you're talking about my uncle. Oh, yeah. My mother, too. My mother was 94 when she died 5 years ago. And it's been a long time. And she talked about, you know, planes and different things like telephones, how they changed and how they had ice boxes and, you know, stuff like that. And him, I can imagine, you know, commercial airlines weren't around. I mean, they had airlines, but, well, they had airplanes. Wow. Yeah. No, he didn't. Maria, for those of y'all, is my daughter, so and he didn't. He drove a car until he was 97 years old. And then he gave up his license voluntarily because he was still a good driver. So, you know, he partied a lot. He was a heavy rum drinking man. And he drank the good stuff too. Thank you, Margaret. I don't know what I could have said to help you, but I was hoping that what I say helped somebody. I think that the majority of weight loss anyway is about mentality, how you think. But then again, that's me, you know. Jody, your appetite is back. 16 months. 5 times a day, really? Yeah, I couldn't get back into intermittent fasting either. I've been eating, I think, 3 times a day. Yeah, about 3 times a day, and then about a cup, half a cup each time. And usually by nighttime when I want something to munch, I'm full to eat. Yeah, I got it, Yvonne. I'm slow sometimes, you know how it is. Did my mother eat healthy? No, she smoked cigarettes up to the day she died. And she had lung cancer. But she didn't die of lung cancer. She died of congenital heart failure, which means she was old. And that's because she didn't exercise. She didn't go out for walks. She was an absolute 100% recluse. She could have been a hermit. She didn't like people. She didn't talk to people. She didn't go out. She didn't do anything. She didn't, well, in fact, my mother was one of the worst cooks I've met. No, she didn't. She just lived to 94, that's all. And no, she wasn't in a healthy lifestyle. She drank, she smoked, she did it all, just like everybody else. She didn't have a secret. She had good genes. That's all. You know. And I'm not following in those particular footsteps. Although I've been there with the too much liquor and the smoking. I smoked for 48 years before I could finally give it up. That is really, really difficult. I don't know if you ever smoked, but that is a hard one to do. You know, I would think, Yvonne says that there was a woman in France who died at 112 and she swore the glass of champagne each day. I could believe that because my uncle Mickey was a heavy, well, I don't know if he was a heavy drinker, but he drank some rum that you cannot get in the United States. I mean, he gave me, I went over there once when my kids were small. I took him a big pot of beans and rice, you know, and that stuff. Went over there and he gave me a glass. Oh, I gave him a bottle of rum. I can't remember what brand it was, but it was like, you know, $23 a bottle. It's expensive shit. And he said, "Ooh, piss water." And then he gave me a glass. It kind of covered the bottom of the glass, you know, just a little bit. I was so stoned from that one little teeny itty bitty. I mean, you know, and so I had to hang around because I drove there and I got all my kids in my car. Stay for hours because it's sober up, you know. Okay. Yeah. How did I give up smoking? Hold on. I joined a group online called QuitNet, and I found that they're not online anymore. But they had a psychological evaluation that only you saw. You know, it was guaranteed that they did not keep it in your database or anything like that. And didn't sell information and that kind of stuff. And then they had a plan to go down the first thing you did after you fill out the questionnaire and realize what you're doing to yourself was you set a quit date, usually a month, 2 months ahead. And then what you do is every week, every day, however you set it up, you go down a cigarette, or you go down 2 cigarettes per day, or whatever. In my case, I started off with something like I couldn't have a cigarette more than once every half hour. So then I got finally up to one an hour, and that kind of stuff. And then when it came down to the last day, I was down to 3 cigarettes per day. And I got in the car and I was going to go to work, and I realized that, and I normal stuff, you light up a cigarette. And get in the car, part of the routine is light up a cigarette. And I realized that if I lit that cigarette, I was never going to quit, because that day was my quit day. So I said, I put it on the side, put it on the ashtray or wherever, and said, oh, I'll smoke it later, or maybe I won't, just leave it there. Well, I drove around for about a year with that pack of cigarettes in my car, And then when I found it, and I realized I had cigarettes in my drawers, I had cigarettes in pocketbooks, I had matches, lighters, everything, everywhere, all the time. So I couldn't be without, Okay. And so anyway, that's how I quit. It was a little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. It's the same way I quit drinking. Well, actually, no, with drinking, I'd stop cold turkey. I went into a liquor store one day, and the guy offered me credit. And I said to myself, I've been in here this often, this much, that this man who has no idea what my name is offering me credit to buy liquor. And so I walked out, and I never drank again after that. Well, I mean, I do. I get a glass of wine or whatever. I don't drink like that anyway. Yes, it is difficult with being well, I don't know. I don't have a problem staying home. I'm not necessarily a people person. I unfortunately seem to have picked that up from my mother, who was very reclusive. So, I don't know. I could be home all the time. And to tell you the truth, if I didn't have Rowley to take me out for a walk every day, I probably would never go outside, or go outside when I needed something, and that's it, So I don't know what to say about that. YouTube has helped, huh? However, I'm sugar-free. Wow, I didn't know. I stopped drinking soda years and years and years ago. And I didn't know they had cherry 7-Up in packets, or packets of soda. I used to do Crystal. In fact, I've got a bunch of that stuff sitting in the cabinet here. Crystal Light and sweet tea from Lipton, and the ones you squeeze. I got Splenda, stevia, all of that good stuff. And it is now way too sweet. It's just, everything is just way too sweet. Can't deal with it anymore. I stopped, yeah, I eat these, but I make it myself. I stopped buying it because I don't care for the taste. The Chinese restaurants around here are, local kind of things. And they cook exactly the same thing as each other, and not very well. Like, for instance, fried rice. Buy fried rice, and in most cases, it is not. It has very, very little soy sauce. It's not brown, which is okay. I mean, some Chinese people make fried rice without soy sauce and use salt instead. But it doesn't have any flavor. None of it has any flavor. It's just bland. So I make it myself. And then I could throw in onions and a lot more onions than they would throw in. I could throw in bean sprouts because you don't even see Chinese fried rice with bean sprouts anymore. Now they're using peas and carrots. So I make it myself. Yes, they do chat outside. Actually, everybody does that now. I mean, you go sit in people's yard and whatnot. And everybody hangs out outside, which is kind of cool, you know. Actually, when we sit outside 6 feet apart, more than 6 feet apart, most people take off their mask because we're 6 feet apart. We're way beyond that. But one of the women here in the park got COVID, and the only reason we could think that she got it was because she was downwind of somebody. So, you know, it's up to you. The rules of the park says that no groups of more than 10 people, and you must be at least 6 feet apart, and you must be wearing your mask. Well, that's kind of iffy, you know, if you're on your own property, you know. In which case, most times I walk and I do not wear a mask. I carry a mask because if I stop and I get mail or whatever. But in general, I am totally outside and there is not anybody near me for at least 20 feet. So, you know, but I do carry it and I do use it. So. Yes, I don't blame you, Maria. I wouldn't drink my calories either. What does it say? That I can't see a whole thing. Okay. When I lost 6 pounds, I decided to drink my calories if I could help it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't drink my calories. That was one of the easiest things to do, was to not drink your calories. Because, and then I lost weight just not drinking juice, for instance. You know that, for instance, if you drink a 6-ounce glass of juice, you figure each ounce is worth 1 orange. I wouldn't sit down and eat 6 oranges, you know? There's a lunch club I started with. Well, I don't know. Why'd you have to stop? I mean, you could, oh, I guess. She says that she started a walking group and she had to stop because of COVID. But I don't know why you couldn't walk anyway and just stay far apart. You know, it's I don't know. I don't know if I would find a way around that or not, you know. So are you still walking, Jody? I mean, by yourself? Yeah, actually, you asked, do people mingle in your Parkinson circle? There are a couple of rigs on this row alone that these people have set up their outside bars, you know. So come Friday, Saturday night, you know, there's full-fledged parties out there. But everybody sits very far apart, you know. So it's one place that has, well, like tiki torches out there. It's really cool. Looks nice. So anyway, I wanted to talk about some other stuff before we get off of here. Let me close that one. Here we go. There was some other stuff I realized this week, just to talk about it, you know. I have a composting toilet in my rig, and the seat on it was too low. So I hate to say this, but my butt was kind of hanging in the bowl, and you know, when you pee, it bounces back up on you. So you got to wipe and wash, and, you know, it got ridiculous. So anyway, I decided to go out and get 2 toilet seats and put them back to back so that it would raise me about 1.5 inches, which would be perfect. So I did that. And then I realized that the holes in the toilet seats are getting bigger. They are a lot bigger than the hole in the toilet seat that I threw away. So now with a smaller butt and a bigger hole, I'm pretty close to have the same problem. Because now I'm sinking in, you know. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you, Jody. You don't know. So yeah. There are, well, speaking, Maria says, you know about the walking challenges they have online. I've finished. Whoa. No. Said they have parties up to 100 people. So I told you last week, I think it was the week before, that I did the Mount Fuji. It was 46 miles and I did it in 22 days. This is the Mount Fuji middle. Can you see? Oh, wow, the words are right. How about that? Isn't that gorgeous? Check out the back of this thing. Come on, focus, focus. That's the crane that's supposed to be standing there. That is just gorgeous. This thing weighs 1/2 pound. Beautiful, beautiful. So I've got them hanging in my bedroom. So Maria's talking about the walking challenges. She joined me on one of my challenges. Yes, you know, Jody, I have all of that information at the bottom of my, you know, the show notes down the bottom, the see more notes down there about the different groups. Some of them are free, some of them you pay for. But I personally think they're fun. I really do. For instance, I'm doing the marathon with my kids, my daughters, and it comes with this passport thing. And so you put on here, you put on here your name, the day you start, and all that kind of stuff. And as you go along, you come across different, you know, since we're walking, there's 3,521 miles. And these are the stickers you put in as you get to those particular spots. Now, the thing about that, and in this one, I'm also doing this one. This is really the year 2021. And this one has a coloring book. So you color in the pictures according to how many miles you've run. So let me see. Yeah. Don't fall down the loop. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that, let me tell you. And then you got your feet up in the air figuring how you're going to get down. Your flabby arms, you know what I use? Let me go get them and I'll show you. Hold on a second. Oh, you know, I just realized I found this too. I use walking poles. You can set them according to your height and everything else. You can get them for $15 a piece at Walmart. Those I didn't get from Walmart. But what happens is as you're walking, they exercise your arms. So I've got flab. See. But considering the amount of weight that I've lost, I don't really have that much flab. You know? So, and I think, and I could feel it when I don't work out, you know. Close to $3,000. Good. Good. Yeah, so use them already. Okay. Anyway, we've been this long time here. I want to talk about the federal government's $600 thing they gave to us. $600 is almost how much I live on per month. Not quite. I do have a little bit more than that. So that $600 was a blessing. And I got to tell you about the people that live here. I had that $600. I had a plumber who came over and gave me a free 10-gallon hot water heater, installed it, got all the extra parts and installed them for $120. That included the hot water heater. He told me to order an anode for the hot water heater. I ordered it. He came back and put it in for free. Then there was the man, the other neighbor. I told you I was moving my rig and I got a flat tire. He told me where to go get a used tire. I went and got one. It was $40. $40. I was thinking 150 easy, even for a used tire. And he put it in and I said, well, how much? He said nothing. We argued. We argued. He told me not to get snippy and ended up with $20. He came back over 2 days to do that. Then there was the guy who came over and I wanted him to get up on the roof and see if I had any holes, leaks, cracks, anything like that. You got to stay on top of that kind of thing with RVs. And so he went up on the roof, came back and says, well, yeah, you got a couple of splits here and there and whatnot, not bad, you know. I could do it for $75. I said, sure. So he goes home, comes back the same day, power washes the top of my roof, comes back the next day, takes my card in my car, goes over to Home Depot and gets the stuff for the roof, puts it on, and charges me $75. I don't know where these people come from, but I love them. He told me that the roof repair is good for 10 years. I don't know. You know, so this, I don't know how I fell into this. This was the way to go. Yes, it is nice to have nice people here. I've lived in cities. I've lived in a lot of cities. And I had not a clue who lived across the hall from me. Not even who lived in the next house, but who lived across the hall. Who lived in the hall, in the apartment next door. I didn't know. You know, and it is nice to walk around and just say hello to people. So anyway, let me see. I have stopped my metoprolol. That's a high blood pressure medication. After I had this operation, I had a bad case of electrolyte imbalance and I was dehydrated and the whole deal. So they put me on metoprolol and I've been on it for almost a year. But for some reason I kept saying, you know, I really need to get off of this, get off this. And then I would see on my my Garmin thing, my Garmin Connect on my phone, that my heart rate would go up to 167. I'm saying, oh my God, what the heck is going on here? You know, I'm taking the medication. And anyway, I realized that I had been taking my watch off and putting it on my end table when I go to bed at night. And I have a fan, and it was picking up the fan movements as if it was my heartbeat. So I'm saying to myself, there is nothing wrong with your heart. I've been looking at this readout for this entire year. My heart rate hasn't gone up. My blood pressure hasn't gone up. Nothing is happening here. So I need to get off of this medication. And then I asked the doctor about it. He says, well, get off slow, you know. No, you don't really need to be on it for the rest of your life, you know. So I would scale down until I got rid of it. And then I started getting stuff on YouTube. I think sometimes YouTube is psychic, you know. I started getting stuff about how it causes baldness. I said, here I am trying to grow my hair back. So I'm glad I stopped taking it. So anyway, I think I've been talking a long time. And we need to get off of this chat. Okay. I watched My 600-Pound Life for about half a season. And then I got over it because it seems to be every one of those contestants had an excuse for not doing what they should be doing and what they tried so hard to have done. And just, it's a waste. I don't know. But as I said, I only watched it for like half a season. Didn't see anybody that ultimately wasn't a problem. So anyway, thank you for coming. You have a great day. And I'll see you next Friday, okay? Blessed be. Have I enjoyed it? Well, I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's funny, I don't feel like I'm talking to myself when I'm videotaping. It's okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up with the messages on the side and how to answer them because I'm too long-winded to think. Anyway, you have a good night. Okay. Bye, everyone.